Lite Damo!
Dad always used to say, "Shh, o ke fia popo, ai whaalongo ka nina."
No conspiracy theory, not saying this is dead right, nor am I regurgitating shit from a website.
My uncle's favourite saying was, "Poi te taupa, ki hai puawai, yaku moi moia."
The potential of the power of the people can never be equal. They wish information never was legal.
Bros biz, bros biz, bros biz. Bitches.
Talo for lover, and welcome back to Bros Biz. You've joined Nick Tetana, Ken Westall.
What's up?
Kia ora.
And I'm Ray Alisana. So we're here for another episode of Bros Biz where the three of us sit down and have chats about anything really, but normally things that we want people to be discussing at home. So I think today, Ken, you wanted to talk about an issue you have?
I want to talk about an issue that at least you and I share. I can guarantee that. But binge drinking. Binge drinking. What's your relationship with
What's
alcohol?
the definition of binge drinking?
I don't have a. Look, regardless of the definition, I'm a fucking binge drinker.
Drinking
right?
too much.
I think in Australia they say if you have more than 4 standard drinks in a session, or is it 6? I don't know. Either way,
I think it's 6.
I'm still a binge drinker, right?
Oh, sorry, 6.
Yeah.
See.
So essentially, binge drinking is too many standard drinks in any one session, which is the only way I drink. So I don't have a beer or two through the week. If I'm going to have a session, I have a session. So essentially, it's written off or nothing.
Yes.
And that's deemed not healthy. And probably wanted to have a chat about you two around your ideas around that or your approach to alcohol.
So I definitely have to put my hand up for that. So I'm like you, Ken. I don't drink every day. So I know a few guys that drink every day will have 1 or 2 beers.
Why are you pointing that way?
No. I wasn't actually gesturing at you, but...
No. I think the house up the road from your place.
I
Is
know
that where
he
you're
has-
pointing?
He has far more than 1 or 2 every day.
So I know people that drink 1 or 2 a day, but they actually have to drink 1 or 2 a day. It's almost like us having dinner. But then myself, if I have a drink, then I definitely drink more than the 4 to 6 beers
average
per
man.
session. Yeah, and more than the average man.
I'm surprised. Look, I've seen you, and you don't handle any more than 4 very well. If you got to 6, I'd be very, very shocked.
Yeah, but it's a problem though. Well, do you think that you have a problem with binge drinking? Or
Yeah. So, problem. It's not a problem to me. It's a problem to some. Well,
it's a problem to your wife.
So it's it's deemed not healthy. I don't think it helps the waistline. In saying that, I could probably have a different choice than beer, still be a binge drinker and be okay. So I'm not saying that staying slim. You can still stay slim and be a binge drinker.
Yeah.
So look, I think. So for me, it's probably a habit, for want of a better term, that I picked up through my upbringing and my surroundings. So everybody, my introduction to alcohol would have been through that. Would have seen my dad and uncles and friends and all of that, get together and socialise, and I probably then have taken that even one step further. I think I'm probably a far bigger binge drinker than my old man ever was, even, to be honest.
So you say habit, not an addiction. So can you go without drinking?
Yeah. So I can go without drinking. So
Okay.
I don't think it's an addiction. I think it's a habit.
So you probably only do it because you don't see it as too much of an issue. If it was, you could stop it.
Yeah, I know people who binge drink far more regularly than I do. In fact, multiple times a week. And I'm probably wondering whether. So that I think there is a difference between a habit and an addiction. Yeah.
So first of all, there's a time limit on blaming your parents for your own behaviour.
Shane
That's
Warne.
that's when you grow up. It's called growing up, mate.
Fucking,
All right.
yeah.
And then I don't know. Secondly, I think binge anything is probably not good, other than maybe binge watching movies or something. And
Depends on what movie.
yeah, because it's all about moderation, I guess. But I'm pretty much the same as you guys. Like when I was sort of drinking, I probably did the same thing. I don't drink throughout the week, but if I went out or if there was a game on or if I was with my mates, then I'd probably consume more than 6 beers.
Yeah, so I think I do link it to social activity. So I don't. When I say I binge drink, I never sit and drink by myself. So for me, it's a social activity. It's not something I almost ever do by myself. I know, Ray, you said you had a couple of beers by yourself watching the football in the weekend.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah, I do that every now and again.
No,
yeah.
I don't.
but then I wouldn't sit there and binge drink by myself.
No.
because-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But so what do you reckon the problem is though?
The problem,
What's the problem with binge drinking?
I guess, it's like where is that line in terms of when it starts to bleed over into other parts of your life?
Yeah.
Like Kent mentioned the health and the waistline. I guess that's an issue for middle-aged men. And then other things that you're not taking care of, other things in your life.
Yeah, so for me, that's what the issue is more than anything. So I think you think of quality time with your kids, quality time because
definitely.
essentially what happens is the next day
Yeah.
you're a write-off.
It's a write-off,
So,
You're
even
fine.
if it's not a
Yeah.
write-off, you're at 50%, right? And so then other things go and that sort of quality. So don't get me wrong, I'm not for 1 minute out there saying that it's an issue if you have a big weekend every now and then, right? But I think so for me, through the football season, every time there's a game on, either the Highlanders
So
play
every
or the
week?
All Black game, then me and mates will get together, and that will be our excuse, for want of a better term, to have a session. And then that means that
Oh, you guys have to get permission, eh? That's right.
well, we are the permission slip signers, not the we're the visa
Why do you
stampers.
need an excuse then?
Well, we need an excuse, I think, socially, from a social conditioning point of view, because if you say to yourself or to your friends or to your group or whoever you're binge drinking with, we're getting together for this particular event, it doesn't seem like you're a fucking alcoholic.
Yeah.
Right? And then if it's we're just getting together to hit the piss, it's a different mindset, and you're actually putting a different set of reasoning around why you're binge drinking.
So for me, I asked the question, but I'll give my reply to my own question. So I think, the problem is clearly your health, physical, and also mental. So like if I binge drink, the whole week I feel flat. So I feel lethargic, probably low mood. So that's one thing. And then it's the money factor as well. So if you're raising a family and you're going out to a bar and binge drinking, man, you're $200, $300 down, or maybe possibly more.
Yeah. But you like to shut the bar too, Ray.
So for me, though, my binge drinking is either mainly at home, or at someone else's house. So it's essentially a box of beer. It's a $50 investment, not a $500 investment.
Oh, so I'm not just saying. I'm not saying personally, but I'm saying that could be one, because I've seen guys go out and spend $600-700
Big note themselves.
Yeah, and then obviously there's a time with your loved ones, and it must take a toll on relationships as well. Like if you're doing it constantly, there's got to be some repercussions, I guess.
Unless your partner's a binge drinker as well, or
Oh, jeez.
And there's a whole different set of issues.
Yeah.
So did you recently have taken a different approach to alcohol?
Yeah, so I've knocked it right back, basically since I was diagnosed with diabetes, type 2 diabetes. So I thought that that's probably one thing I could give up in the main. I mean, I still do have it every now and again, but I go, the low carb, low sugar option.
Yep.
Because
But
you were a big Bacardi Breezer man.
but never to this, not to the same extent that I used to do it. Yeah.
And have you...
And
Have you had any
I haven't
benefits
missed
with
it.
You haven't missed it?
No.
Haven't missed it at all?
No, and because the thing is with me, it used to be the recovery was 2-3 days, because if you're binge drinking, by definition you're not necessarily piss fit, as they would say.
Yep.
And because you're only doing it irregularly.
So there must be something in the water in the North Island of New Zealand, because
Yeah, it's called champion blood.
So because I certainly am not knocked out for 2 or 3 days afterwards, but certainly the next
week.
day's a write-off.
Week.
Yeah, but you're drinking 7 beers and you're passing out.
Yeah.
And
So-
that's the other problem right there. Just
Yeah,
that comment
yeah,
that I
just-
just
oh, for
made.
sure.
Yeah, he
the
made
macho-
one at the start as
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, you only have a couple of beers anyway, all that kind of stuff. And so that's the pressure
Yeah, because you
that
sit
people
down
are
with a
putting
group
on
of
you to
guys,
have a beer, mate, have a beer. Oh, it's only one. All
or
that kind of stuff.
you can't leave, mate. You know, you
Yeah.
can't
First to leave is
Yeah.
an issue.
Yeah.
Mate, we've been drinking for 4 hours. I can leave
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never really felt that sort of peer pressure. Mainly when I was younger.
because you're a leader.
Because I'm not a sheep, man.
See, that's what he's going to say. That's why he's the only one that didn't represent Bro's business.
Yeah, I'm
this
not a
evening,
sheep, bro.
Because, you know.
I rep Bro's
he's-
business.
He's actually not a team player.
I
that's what
rep
would
Bro's
say.
business in here. I don't need to show it on there, man.
I thought because we were wearing small shirts and
Probably doesn't
Fit
fit.
into
Yeah,
it.
fair.
That's
fair
small.
Fair,
yeah,
fair,
man,
Mate.
Extra small.
fitted as well.
Extra small.
It goes down.
He's wearing an extra small, like all parts of life. so do your kids have a different? So my kids aren't of drinking age, right?
Yeah.
Do you reckon your kids have a different approach to alcohol than say you did at that age?
At that age.
You weren't drinking it.
Well, so yeah, my older one doesn't drink much at all.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, he just doesn't enjoy it. He said, but we've been to parties. He can go to a party. We walk in there. Everyone's sitting around on tables. The DJ's playing something. He'll just go and dance in the middle of the floor.
Really?
Yeah, he's just
Sober
on his
as?
own buzz. Sober as.
yeah.
Straight up.
He
Yeah.
doesn't need the alcohol. To,
Nah, so he doesn't need the alcohol to have a good time. I haven't really had much. Well, my daughter's got 3 kids now. She's been pregnant for a while, so she likes to have a lash at it, though. I think when she goes out.
Yeah, sure.
And then the young fella, he's had a couple of wake up moments on the drink, and
So
so
I'm never going to
On the
drink
lawn?
again.
yeah. So he's actually the last 10 months, and that he's been pretty good. He's starting to find his feet with it, like know his limits.
And this is probably a really big stereotype, but the fact that he's an apprentice, like in the trades, I think that there'd be a lot
part of the culture,
Yeah,
isn't it?
there'd be a lot of workplace culture pressure to
So
get on it.
they had a weekend away over on Moreton Island with all the tradies and stuff. And I think he was feeling a bit sort of anxious about it because this was probably about 4 or 5 months after he had his big. He had a bit of an issue on New Year's night, and he'd sort of knocked off the drink for a while, and then he got back into it slowly. But he was assuming that this was going to be just a massive piss trip. But and they said it was good. There was no pressure from the older fellas, and a couple of the young guys were into like fishing and 4-wheel driving, so they just went off and did their own
Oh, okay. Oh, good.
thing. So yeah.
What about because I started drinking probably at about 16. So like in New Zealand, Dunedin there. So there's the university, there's a real big drinking culture. You know,
Yeah.
people away from home for the first time, and a lot of the locals we were getting into it really really young. So we would have fake IDs and we'd go to the student pubs and we'd sort of start drinking at that stage, right? So I think from about 16, I would have been drinking regularly, and it would have been binge drinking from the start, sort of thing. You have big sessions, big night out. But you said, like, I think we've had this talk before. You
Yeah, I
didn't
didn't-
really start drinking until
yeah.
a bit later, and like you'd
I didn't
finished
drink
school.
until I was 19.
Yeah.
So yes, I'd always be the designated driver. So hopefully my kids don't start too early, but I definitely caught up. But I'm not so concerned about alcohol. I'm sort of more concerned about all the other the drugs that are like the ice and all that
Synthetic
other stuff.
drugs in
Yeah.
particular. Yeah.
But what can you do? Like, have you had the conversation with your kids about?
yeah.
Yep. And how did that conversation go? Just
Well, what can you say?
don't do what I did.
Yeah, I mean, no, I didn't. I don't think I said that, but because that's not being honest. Like I said, look, I experimented with a few things. None of the hard shit, to be honest. And this was my experience with it, and this is why I don't do it anymore. Not that I've taken it off the table forever.
Yeah.
There could be a time where I might feel like indulging.
A roofie.
Like that's a big issue now. Like I was listening to there was a cop talking on the news, and they were talking about the higher incidence of
Date rape.
and fucking girls' drinks men's drinks getting spiked as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. And basically, you can't even trust the bartender now. So they've heard stories where guys will pay the bartender
To slip one in.
to slip one in, right?
Fuck.
And then they watch, they see who, and they can even point out, because I mean, with
Swoop
chicken,
in.
yeah, they $50 if you drop this in that chicks, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah,
pretty
so
cool.
you can't, if you're a young girl and you're out in the clubs and stuff, man, you've got to, drink security is number
Yeah.
one. Like, you should probably take something with a lid on it, I reckon. Can you fill this glass up?
Yeah.
You know?
Fuck.
And then you fucking,
And you got to make sure you're going out with some trustworthy friends like that.
Yeah,
That'll
that's
look
right.
out for you.
yeah, that's right. I think that's a bit key thing. Like, if there's at least someone who was, you know, semi-sober,
That's why I'm going clubbing with my kids when they're 18.
fuck it all.
That's actually because you're a sleazy old man. Is why you're going.
You won't even know,
No way,
mate.
man.
Well, what do you plan to do when you're, you know, older? When your boy turns 18, are you going to go out with him or do something or take him to the pub or what?
Nah. I might go to a pub. I'd never go to a nightclub with them, but
Yeah.
I think I've already had the conversation with them now.
Because when you walk in, they go, Ray. It's like those Cheers bar.
So
Norm.
what if he asks, can he have a beer before he's 18? How do you feel about that?
So I know that you had a beer with your old man. I see. People have been around. You've grown up with alcohol. So have I. Like my dad was a drinker, but I have so many friends that have never even tried it. So I'd like to think that, you know, perhaps one of my kids would go down that line. You know, not even feel like he has to sort of try it. But
Do you think he'd ask you? Like, do you think it would be?
Nah, probably not, because he knows where I stand with it. He'd probably have a sly drink. So maybe I should rethink.
And what
that
about his
attitude.
mum's position? Have you guys talked about it?
Well, my older kids, their mum, she has a different view on things. So
Yeah.
I know that they've actually tried like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
taste of alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's something that I'm like, well, what do they need to taste it for? But that's the way she
Was
grew up.
introduced to it, yeah.
So did you let your kids have a
Yep.
beer before they were 18?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think. So I don't think my kids will ask me. I think if they wanted to try it, they'd ask their mum. If I'm going to be
Yeah.
totally honest, I don't think my kids would ask.
Would
me.
you be on? You guys on the same page? What the response?
So the
should
funny
be?
thing is that I'm probably more likely to say yes
Yeah.
than she is, but not at this. So not at 14, 15, but I think at sort of 16 into 17 ish.
30.
I think I'd be more open to, well, you know, I'd rather.
Can I do it under?
Well, I'd rather at least be able to see how you handle it and what your response
So
is.
I like
and that
the
sort of stuff. I don't know.
European approach. You know, like with the French and that, they will give wine, maybe
Dinner.
watered down wine with a meal and stuff like that, where they're sitting around the table. So they try to instill this thing that it's a social thing. It's not about a binge drinking type of culture. It's like, oh, you sit down, have a nice meal, have a drink of wine, bit of conversation, that kind of stuff. Like,
Didn't you say that your experience in Holland was that
Yeah.
alcohol was so cheap, but they didn't really
Yeah.
fully get on
They
it?
don't binge drink, but yeah, it's culturally always a glass of wine with a meal
yeah.
all the time. But I didn't see anyone with any sort of issues there.
Other than
because-
yourself,
Other
you were
than me.
you were the
I
problem.
was like,
Yeah, so if you look at
I don't want to eat. It's cheating.
the countries
It's
where alcohol is an issue, it's where it's withheld
Yeah.
till a
Yeah,
later
to a certain
age, you know.
And the thing is, there's studies that say that drinking in moderation, well, not like 1 or 2, is probably healthy for you.
Yeah.
It's just when
That's
You
what I
binge
read too.
drink,
That's why I'm saying I'm healthy as. If 1 or 2 is healthy, 18 must be healthy as.
yeah, because you're like, I'm drinking my 2
Yeah.
that people have at
Averaging
night
it out
on the one night.
Yeah, so if you think about it like that, it's about the behaviour and how do you try and reinforce that kind of attitude and the attitude towards drinking rather than, oh, this is a secret thing, this is a thing we do behind our parents' back and we get as much in us as cheaply and as fast as possible and get wasted.
Because that's the other thing.
Because
Even,
that's not fun, actually. It's for about an hour while you're getting there.
yeah,
It's fun.
You get to the zone, and then,
And then
that
fucking
zone goes really quickly.
everything from there onwards is fucking,
Downhill.
yeah.
So certainly when I was younger, that was really that, like, you know. So now I'm older. I certainly only buy alcohol that I like, right? and I still binge drink, but I'll buy what I enjoy drinking rather than
Passion pop.
what's the cheapest option to get me fucked up. That's my aim is not to get there as quickly as possible, but I guess if I'm buying it by the carton,
What's your aim?
so look, I think it's to get in that zone
And maintain the zone.
maintain it for as long as possible, right?
Yeah, till you fall asleep.
So I think, like you're saying, when you're young, you get to that zone really quickly, and you get past that zone really, really quickly. So you might have an hour of that. Whereas I like to.
What's the good part of that zone? Why do you want?
So I think the good part of that zone is that it often frees up, gets rid of some inhibitions, and you talk a bit more openly and honest. So especially the fact that I. That's pissing down out there.
Right?
Yeah, it is. So the fact that I'm normally having these sessions with people that I've known for a long, long period of time, it's just getting to that point where you're sharing ideas and that you're having some open discussion.
You just like to argue.
Yeah,
So you like to
so I
drink
would
and
think
argue.
that you don't need any help to get to that zone.
No, I don't. But the people that I'm with generally do.
Oh, so you're doing
for
it.
them.
You're
Oh,
drinking
no,
in sympathy.
I'm not drinking in sympathy. I enjoy it, but what I'm saying is that I am likely to share the same views sober that I am pissed.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people that are close to me aren't.
So you want to lure them in and then argue with them?
No, I want to open up.
You're
honest
fucking
dis-
trolling them.
You're trolling.
You're piss trolling them.
Here you go. It's like the podcast Drink Champs when they get famous people and get them pissed and say things they'd never say on camera.
Tell me something incriminating.
Yeah, that's right. So look, so I think that now that zone might be a 4-hour period, but yes, I do get past that zone to the point where I've had too much, and then the conversation goes from that to slurred and
What about
incoherent.
you? What's
I drink
pros and cons of drinking? Like,
pros and cons. Well,
Yeah.
the con is not knowing when to stop. So binge drinking, because there's a point where after 4 or 5 beers, you relax. You've had a hard week at work, 60, 70 hours a week.
Have you been drinking tonight?
Have
Have you been drinking tonight?
60 hours.
You've been in the yard for 12 hours mowing and digging trenches.
We're going to show the people what your yard looks like after this.
And then, it's been out in the sun. It's relaxing to have a drink and
Or 7, 10.
and socialize. Yeah. So I think I'm a social drinker, and usually I know when enough is enough, but every now and then I'll overindulge.
So recently we were at a poker
Yeah.
game.
So that was over the top.
And I went home at like 3 a.m.
And I went home at
text-
3 in the afternoon.
Texted at like almost midday saying, what time did you guys finish up? And they were still going. And there was more piss being drunk than poker being played at that point.
No, I was asleep by that time. No. So and that's one of those moments where, before you know it, so your judgment is clouded, and next thing you know, you've drank too much. And then, like I said, and then the repercussions are being lethargic, low mood, no motivation for the next week.
So look, I think we all acknowledge that certainly
a problem.
that we don't have healthy drinking habits. I guess the issue that I probably have, if I'm going to be honest, is that I'm not really motivated to change it at the moment.
Yeah.
Like I'm not getting in trouble. I'm not getting no laws. All of those things. So for me, I do acknowledge that I would probably like to binge drink less frequently, but I would still say I'm unlikely to have a couple of beers after work every day, and most likely when I have a drink, it will be more than 2 or 3.
I'm really, really motivated the next day.
yeah.
Then by the next fortnight, I'm
Back on it.
back on it.
Yeah, so I only,
Not like I don't have a problem. Like
I only got motivated to sort of change my habits because I had a health scare. So, but yeah, I definitely haven't missed it, and probably won't change in the near future, to be honest.
So look, for those at home having a listen and a watch, just have obviously 3 different opinions. Nick says he doesn't miss it. I'm a pig-headed prick and I'm not going to change. and Ray didn't commit to anything as per normal.
So charge your glasses. Charge your glasses.
And this is green tea.
Yeah.
So really keen on your feedback though, guys. So if you want to send us an email, brosbusiness@outlook.com. Hit us up on our Facebook page, the Bros Business Podcast. Twitter, @BrosBiz, BROSBIZZ. Please like and subscribe on the YouTube channel if you can. You can also, if you just want an audio version, hit us up on SoundCloud or iTunes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Down the hatch.